I'm wondering if you have ever thought about authenticity and what does that mean, especially in a field like the performing arts where we are a character, we are a specific role, and we are not ourselves. Sometimes people talk about they want to see the authentic you within the character, within the song. They want to hear it. They want to feel it. And that's not always easy to achieve because many of us think I have to be perfect. As you see, I'm sitting here with no makeup, my hair in curlers, kind of just to prove a point that you have to be willing to put yourself out there on any given day, maybe not looking the way you believe you should. The wall is down and you are there, naked, so to speak. You are your authentic self. Many times we forget this. We are caught up needing to be perfect. Perfectionism is a thing. We all can probably identify with that when it comes to pursuing a career in the performing arts, whether that's an opera, musical theater, whatever. You need to be able to be vulnerable to a point that allows the authenticity to come through. And they're just not looking at some sort of cookie cutter version of something else that they've already seen, or that you're blocking something in your singing because you're so bent on being this perfect version of something that you think is sellable. But what if you didn't go with that way of thinking? Of course, be prepared. Don't go into an audition not knowing the repertoire. Obviously, you have to be prepared. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what comes after that or outside of that. It's a different level of allowing yourself to be an artist, to be unique and stand out from the crowd. Because when you go to an audition and you really want that role, and they say no thank you, or weeks later you get an email saying, I'm sorry you didn't make it into the final cut. Your heart sinks, of course, and you think, what did I do wrong? And then you go into perfectionism, my hair, my makeup, the color I was wearing was all wrong. I should have worn blue. I was wearing red. Whatever the case may be. Stop doing that because you're just wasting energy. Take a deep breath and just know that you don't have to change everything now that you had a no. Because you're going to get a lot of no's before you get yeses. They say that in all different types of businesses. The performing arts is no different. Of course, there are situations where someone gets in with something and they're just constantly having offers, or you think, hey, well, that person got a role right away. Why am I still waiting? I'm just as good. That's comparing. So let's stop that as well. But I want to not get away from the topic that I started with, which is allowing yourself to be your authentic singer, actor, dancer, so that the person hearing you, the panel, the judges, the artistic director, the casting director, whoever it is, can see that you are someone of interest. You are someone who has something to bring to the table. And even if it's not right for that specific role, maybe it's right for something else. And you don't want to miss the chance to be on that list of, an interesting person. We can't use them here, but maybe in 6 months or a year, you never know. So let's not forget the importance of authenticity, of enjoying being who you are, because you can't change that. And as many characters as you can play on the stage, on the inside, you're still you. Forgetting that is not going to bring you any sort of perfection, any sort of happiness. Maybe other people will tell you something else. Everyone has their own opinion. But my message for you today is let the authenticity shine through. Be who you are. Because that makes things exciting. That makes people say, that person is special. It's not always easy to be ourselves. It's easy to be somebody else, to be a character where you can step away from who you are. And it is not always easy to just say, this is who I am. This is what I have to offer. And then see what happens. I encourage you to give yourself the space to let your personality truly come out. Don't hide behind some sort of facade, whether it be perfect hair, perfect makeup, perfect dress. All of that does not matter. So have a wonderful day. And until next time, I hope you continue following your own compass.